it's cloudy and it's very moist, so everything is like feels really wet. And we left Los Gigantes a couple of hours ago, and as normal, no wind in the beginning, and then closer to La Gomera, here we go again. A lot of wind, and we have approximately like 25-26 knots in the gust at the moment, and we have 3 sails up, 2 reef in the mainsail and 1 in the mizzen, and we have also reefed Genoa. So yeah, it's going okay. We're doing a speed of 6 knots. Just imagine when we have lifted the boat and cleaned her. That will be nice. Here's my hero.
Welcome to the exploration zone! Here we go!
Here we go again. And yeah, for me it's yogi time. I still think it's a little bit hard when it's leaning so much and it's a lot of wind and noise. So I do a lot of singing and sitting with him and breathing. Yeah. Tonight it was really exciting. We got company. These guys from Germany that rented a boat and came in, and they had a leak. And the charter company thought it was nothing, so they didn't help them. And they were a little bit panicking, so we had them to come close to us, fend it up. And now Svante is on board, and I think he found a leak. We also called our friend Michael on the catamaran over here, so 2 liveaboards, maybe you could solve this, we hope, and help them. So honey, tell me about what happened yesterday.
Oh!
Let us know.
Yeah, we had one of those moments that you wonder afterwards what actually happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we were sitting here and just kind of, relaxing. And all of a sudden there's a German boat coming into the bay. It's not a German boat, it was a Spanish boat, but it was a German flag on it.
In a strange way, because we reacted on that one.
Yeah, they came in a rush, and it's like they were not really preparing for anchoring. And they came up alongside us, really, really close, like 2 meters from the side of us, and asked if we could help them because they have a water leak inside. The bilge pump was running like crazy, and they didn't know where it came from, and it wasn't their boat, it was a rented boat, so they didn't know really what to do, and they were really, really stressed. So I think they were preparing a little bit to like anchor. But then we told them that it's better that you put your boat alongside us, because in my mind we didn't have our dinghy in here, and it would be more of a like paddling over with the paddleboard and everything, and because it's a rented boat I thought they won't have any tools or anything, but you never know. So we gave them some ropes, and they tied up alongside us, and I was so surprised. I told you to call our friend on the catamaran. Michael came over, and obviously I went over straight away, and I was so surprised because it looked like they hadn't done anything. All the floor inside the boat, everything was there. I would have thought that everything would be like a mess in there. They were looking for the leak, but no, they had done nothing. So I started to lift up the floor and check the bilge. Now the first thing I did was open the hatch for the engine and check all the hoses for the engine. And there was a lot of water inside, under the engine. All the hoses were whole. There was no leaking in there. And the water filter, everything was clear. No leaks there. And in the tray that's underneath the engine, if there's an oil leak and something you wanted to have it stay in there, that was full of water, and the water was cold. And that tells me, and obviously I checked the water, it was salt water, and it was cold. So I thought, okay, it hasn't gone through the engine.
No.
So, and there was one of the German guys, there were 3 German guys. He was really stressed, and because he spoke German to me all the time. And then afterwards he spoke really well English, so I think he was a bit stressed. And Michael came as well, and we started to look up for all the seacocks. I told him, first thing we can do is to check all the toilets, of course, and the kitchen part. We checked those hoses and everything, the seacocks, but no, we didn't find anything. And then I thought maybe it's from the cockpit. It's the draining for the cockpit. But then those hatches were really tight, so we couldn't open them. And then there's another hatch at the side of it. I thought maybe I can go in that space and check if the cockpit is drained to the back. So I just started to look everywhere, and it was getting dark as well. And they got some torches. Michael had a really good torch. But then I went down there. I checked, and I saw this. The exhaust pipe from the engine was hanging loose in that compartment.
Oh, that's where it was.
Yeah. So that's where it was. So it was from the engine. But there's a fin. Look.
Yeah. Shark.
That's a shark. Because they showed us a picture. They had a 2 meter big hammerhead shark just alongside their boat.
Yeah.
And here it comes. Oh well,
it's
sorry.
It's too far away to film it, so I will not turn
now
around.
it's gone anyway. It was just the fin and the back on his back. And there it is again, on his back, and you can see the tail. That's definitely a shark. Wow. We need to. Sorry, we have to film
pause.
this.
We need to have a break. So yes, the shark swam away.
Yeah, the shark went away, but it came really close, like 15 meters or something from us.
Yeah.
We just saw the fins, the back fin and the tail. Well, anyway, back to the Germans.
Yeah.
Their exhaust pipe was just hanging in the threads, and all the water came in. But it wasn't that hot. I was just surprised, and it didn't smell any like gas or exhaust inside the boat. So anyway, yeah, but we found it because the seacock for the exhaust came in like 10 centimeters, and then the tube was cut just where that stainless steel thing ends. So I asked them, do you have any tools? And I was just prepared they would say no. We have some small ones, they said. But that was enough. They had a screwdriver and for the clamps, and then they had something to cut the wires with. And they just looked at me, and I said, okay, I do it. I saw the look at them. So I got the tools, and I fixed it pretty quick.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, it went quite quick when you found it.
Yeah, I told them to turn off the engine because I didn't want to turn off the engine before because the bilge was running all the time, so they had to charge the batteries, I guess. So I told them to turn off the engine, and we fixed it. And
But
they
it-
were so happy. They were so relieved. They just, oh,
Yeah, but it was quite a lot of water down in
a
the
lot
bilge.
of water.
Yeah.
The whole bilge was full of water. So it took a while for it to empty. And I was so surprised because just under the floors, the wires for the bilge pump, they had a connection there. So if it would have reached that, the bilge pump would have stopped,
Yeah.
and that would have filled the boat. So they were so happy that we found it and we could help them, and it was so easily fixed. And so they, do you want a beer? Do you want a beer?
Yeah.
And I just, I want to go home. And Michael and I, we sat there and had a beer with them and talked about it and what could have happened and so on. And they told us about this rental boat guy that came there and they stayed like 30 minutes on the boat telling them how the things were working. And they just took off, got their money and went off, kind of. So they were definitely going to show this piece of tube that we took off. It's this end of it that broke, because that shouldn't have been happening. It was an old tube.
Yeah.
But shit can happen. You have to prepare for everything when you're even on a rental boat. And I thought that they would just like have a beer and take off, go on, put down their anchor somewhere. They started talking, and they were really good at English, to be Germans, and they were really, really friendly. And they were starting telling us about their sailing. They rent this boat for a week, and they've been sailing around 3 islands and had a really, really rough time. But they catch so much fish, barracuda, mai, tuna, and they caught a tuna just before, same day, yesterday. So they asked us, "Do you like fish?" Oh, yeah, sure. And then we got 3 big pieces.
Yeah. You know that I was on the boat also.
Yeah. And my wife and Yogi came over. Yeah, I know you were. You came over, and we had another beer, and we went on, and we had a long night. And
that was a long time ago. We had one of those.
Yeah, they were
but
so
it was
friendly. We
really
talked about just everything. We're telling them about us, and they told us about them, and they were really, really good. And they ended up alongside us all night, because in the end we just thought, why go for an anchorage for just a couple of hours? You're going to go back to Tenerife with your boat.
Yeah,
But
you were planning
one
to
of
leave.
those
We were planning to
things-
leave like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So it was.
And it was really calm.
And it was really calm. So
here on the anchorage. So
it felt like it was more secure.
Yeah. And
Doing that.
it was one of those good things that just happens.
Yeah.
When you're sitting here. Ended
Yeah.
up in our laps. So we got a good meal.
Yeah, good meal, and they also gave us some stuff that they don't,
Yeah,
because they were
they
leaving
were
the boat
leaving
today, and they said that we don't need this, so we got like
Food.
food. Yeah. Yes, and
Really,
And-
really nice.
new friends, I think,
And new
because
friends,
we have been writing today. I have
Yeah.
been writing with them today. Yeah.
Yeah, they took off 8 o'clock this morning and for Tenerife. And they just took off the lines and started fishing straight away. And we had a little video from them.
Yeah.
They had a really good sail, quick one.
Yeah.
And they met the pilot whales.
Yeah, we talked about them yesterday because they hadn't seen them before.
No.
So we told them about the pilot whales, that there are some pods that are living between La Gomera and Tenerife. So usually you see them when you sail between.
Yeah,
So they were really happy to see them today. So, Yeah?
Yeah, they had a good experience.
That was an interesting evening. A very slow evening first that ended up being something totally different.
Yeah.
Not really unexpected.
Really
Yeah.
unexpected. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And now we're sitting here doing
And
some
again,
small things.
people ask if we have a TV on board. Who needs that? I mean,
Yeah. No, we don't need a TV.
no. Now I'm gonna see if I can find a shark again, and we're gonna fix the tuna so we can eat.
I'm gonna go down and get the tuna. I just made some rice and
Yeah.
now we're gonna... Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, we need to stop doing this. This is like a typical evening with us when we get in a creativity mood. You are doing bottles, I'm doing bracelets, and we're listening to music, and it's just super nice.
Yeah.
Calm and nice evening.
I hope there's no more Germans coming around.
Not
today.
Yeah,
Not
no,
today.
we are too old to do that again for a while, I guess. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it.
No.
No.
No. So, good morning. Now we are preparing to go to the world's end. No, I'm just kidding. We are on our way to El Hierro, or not really kidding. Many years ago, people thought El Hierro was the end of the world, but of course it's not. So, normally when we have been going there before, it's always been a lot of wind. So we are preparing for that, even if the forecast looks really good. It's Sunday today, and on Tuesday we are lifting the boat. So yeah, just as good to go one day before. And maybe this time we can try the anchorage down in the south on El Hierro. We never tried that. We just been in the marina with the other boat. So yeah, time for a little new adventure in somehow. So we had really little wind, and now we have to motoring because we have the wind in the nose. Like normally, typical Canary winds. We are still in shadow from La Gomera. So now we started the engine, so we will arrive in sometime. But here behind me now, somebody is planning to do some fishing, so we really hope for that. It would be nice. There have been tunas jumping, really big ones. We have seen them today, so we are hopeful. That would be nice. Ja men gud vad fina de är, jag älskar dem. Here again we have the typical Canary sailing. Like I said before, we had no wind, and now you can see on the water, wind is coming. So now we put two reef in the main, and we are going in to the winds. It's so obvious here from nothing to, and you see the white thing on the waves. The wind is coming. And here you can see the anchorage we are aiming at. It's really close to La Restinga. So we are in this really magical place, an anchorage on El Hierro. It's hard to understand that it actually can be as calm as this here on El Hierro. I do understand why they call it Calma de Mar. But we arrived last night in dark, so we put down the anchor a little bit further out. We heard that there is sand in there with the white building, and now the anchor is stuck. So Svante is diving now to see if he can find it and yeah, get it loose. Of course we can leave the anchor in worst case and leave the chain, but we would like to have the anchor if possible, and it would be really good to have a new chain before we need to change this anyway, but still it's not really good if we have to leave it now. We're not very sure that it's easy to find one here on El Hierro, a new one, and we do stay a lot on anchor, so a good chain is
Water was
really
so clear, crystal
important
clear.
to us. But
And some fishes. And a
hopefully
rocky
he
bottom.
fixes it so we get
I'd made an
keep
attempt
both the
first
chain
with
and the
just,
anchor.
Snorkeling to follow the chain down, and I had to turn somewhere 10-15 meters, and I couldn't see the bottom, so it's deep. So I went up, got my scuba gear, and went down, and I brought a little buoy and a line, a long one, really long one of the longest one we have, and to put on the anchor, because I thought maybe I have to take the anchor up first. I followed the chain down, and it went deeper and deeper, and I was really glad I turned down the snorkeling idea. And I came down to about like 30 meters or more, and I saw the rock where the chain went in, so I made it free, and the chain went straight down, and further down was a little drop. So I saw the anchor like 10 meters below, just laying there. So I got the chain free, and I went down and put the rope in the anchor, which was lucky, because when I came up, I realized that the weight itself of the anchor chain was too much for a windlass. It couldn't make it.
But the anchor, it wasn't stuck in anything. It was just hanging.
The anchor was laying on the bottom.
Okay.
And then there was a bit of chain, and 10 meters up, that's where the chain got stuck in a stone. So so on the way up, I saw this buoy hanging there, like 20 meters under the boat. So I had to go up and get another rope, go down to the buoy and get it. 2 ropes actually, but anyway. So the weight itself, it's like, I don't know how many 100 kilos it is, but it's too much for our machine, windlass.
Yeah.
It can't make it. Yeah, I was surprised when I checked the log, the diving log, and it said 49.3 meters. That's a new record for me. I had 42 before. That's a long time ago. But anyway, because it was so clear. It wasn't. I mean, if you go down in Sweden below 20 meters, it's dark.
Yeah.
Here it was like a swimming pool. Amazing. You saw the fishes. They are big fishes. So it's it was an amazing dive, and quick, because you don't have much time down there because of the compression. So back on the boat, we had to get a winch to the rope and take the anchor up by itself first, bit by bit.
Yeah.
You helped me a lot there.
Yeah, we had to do it, both of you. There was a lot of strength needed
to get the weight of the chains. Then the windlass can make it. and it got tangled up a little bit. But anyway, it's yeah. I was really lucky that it was like a smooth sea.
Yeah.
Hardly any current at all. So it was really, really good to do it, the maneuvering. And yeah, so I was so lucky that we made it. Yeah, it's good to have scuba gear.
Definitely.
Also,
That's what.
one of those funny things that doesn't happen so often.
No.
Luckily, now we know. Don't go anchoring when it's like 40 meters deep.
But it didn't say that on the instrument.
No.
It said like between 6 and 18.
Yeah.
And then we felt like it must be some rock here. But then it stabilized a little bit more on 6, and we felt we didn't want to go further closer to land when it was saying 6, and we didn't see anything.
Yeah, we have to check that log.
Yeah.
It doesn't work right.
Mm.
That's actually what happened, and that was how we solved it.
Yeah.
And it was that was a good day.
Yeah. New lesson learned.
Yeah.
Lessons
learned.
Yeah. They are taking her down again. There's some kind of problem with, I don't know, really understood what he meant. So there's something wrong with the crane, so they're going to check that up. So Black Pearl is in the water again. I don't know, really not know what the plan is now.